Hey, what's up guys? It's Roy here. So today's video is all about this awesome piece of tech right here from the company Limink. Now this is their S19. It's a triple screen setup for your laptop or MacBook. I will be using my M1 Pro 16-inch MacBook Pro in this video. It actually sets up very nicely with this. It's going to set you back around $300 roughly on Amazon. It's actually $327, but there's an instant $28 coupon that you can apply. So I'll put my Amazon link down in the description if you are interested in scooping this up for your setup. Now, for who this is for, this is really for anyone. I mean, if you just want a sick looking setup with your laptop or MacBook and have kind of that matrix style looking thing, this is pretty dang sweet. But it's also going to be for that person who's going to be super productive, right? If they're, working from home and they need that extra screen setup, or maybe they're like in one of those like WeWork kind of co-share workspaces where they don't have a big giant like desk setup, but they have enough space, like a desk, for example, where they can actually use something like this that's very portable and, be able to, once again, be very productive depending on what it is that they're doing. And I'll show you kind of like, how I've used it. I've been actually using this for a number of months. They were kind enough to send this out, but I've just been so busy, guys. I'm trying to play catch up on everything. So I hope that this actually will help if you have been considering getting something like this. So as far as the unboxing goes, it's pretty simple. I've already opened it up. I will show y'all this next, which is right over here. It's the actual carrying case that it comes with. But with the packaging, it came in this box with everything inside. It says Limink there. It's got the little setup of what it looks like when it is installed, and then the model number. It does say free your imagination here at the bottom, but then when we open it up, it actually reveals kind of what comes inside. So everything's already in the carrying case since I've been using it. But this right here is very, very helpful when it comes to a quick overview. Now, since I'm using my MacBook, I'm actually going to be using the USB-C to USB-C cables because it actually powers the product, which is really nice. But if you do not have that ability to have like two Thunderbolts on each side like my MacBook Pro does, then it does come with, like a, USB-A charging brick, and then you can actually plug it up and do all that. But it kind of shows you how to use it here, which I will show you how to do so here in just a few minutes. And then on the back, it just kind of shows you some different connection methods as well. For me, I'm, like I said, using my MacBook, so I'm going to be using this one here, which I really like the cables that they provide because one end of them are 90 degrees, so bent a little bit to make it a little bit easier for install. But like I said, if you don't have that ability, then you can plug in your monitors using the provided USB-C to USB-A cable to give it power, and it does come with two power bricks. And then also it does give us a user guide here, which is helpful. I did actually end up using it when I was trying to set it up for the first time, because especially with the inputs and buttons here, how to increase or decrease the brightness, how to go through the menus, all that stuff. So pretty simple and self-explanatory. And then, like I said, here's just the extra cables and everything that came with it. But let's go ahead and get this scooched to the side, and let's actually take a peek at what else it came with. And that is this right here, which is this really nice carrying case here, guys. So it's a padded material, very nice, has some Limink branding there, and it obviously does have a zipper, which we will kind of zip open, and that reveals this really nice kind of a suede felt material that's going up against the actual product, which is really nice. And we'll go ahead and take it out here. And then this is what is revealed. So this is the actual product here once it's all folded. The actual carrying case, though, is pretty important in my opinion, because one of the sides, which as you can see here, is the actual screen, and that's actually exposed. So if you're going to be transporting it, I think in my opinion it's really important to make sure you are using the provided carrying case, so that way you're protecting that screen. if there was a way to design it to actually have it folded inward like the other screen is, I think that would be a much better design. So that way you're not risking potentially scratching or breaking the screen, at least if it was towards the back facing the outwards, then at least it's a little bit more protected. But that's just my 2 cents. Maybe it's designed this way for a purpose. And then inside, I also have my 2 cables. So like I said, since I am using my MacBook Pro, I only have to use these and that's it. So it's getting that pass-through power from my actual unit. But once again, if you have a laptop that does not have that ability, then you can still use it. You just need a few more plugs and outlets. But I honestly really love that with the MacBooks, you know, you have that ability to not have to be tethered to an outlet. So if your power is pretty full on your MacBook Pro, then you should be able to use it for a while. But then again, you might want to plug in your MacBook, so at least it's only 1 plug that you need to use instead of 3. So just something to think about. So with that being said, let's scooch everything over. Let's slide over the MacBook Pro here. And let's get this bad boy open. So before I do that, actually, let me slide this back out of the way. And let's get this kind of flipped around and everything. So whenever you do it, this is kind of the look that you get here. So kind of looks like this here. So you have kind of this setup here where if you had it like this, you can see the 3 screens here. This part here actually does slide, as you can see here. So it slides back and forth, and then once you have it to a certain spot, then these little parts right here actually are what goes on top of the actual laptop screen. And then back here, just to show you before we get everything installed, there is this little kickstand back here. So right here, if you can see that, this right here actually is what adjusts. So that way, depending on how big your screen is or how tilting you want your monitor or your screen on your laptop or MacBook to be, you can adjust that accordingly. And then basically it just clicks right back in nicely whenever you don't need it. So that's just that look there. So, all right, so let's get this bad boy installed. So I'm going to grab my MacBook here. I'm going to kind of try to do it at an angle so that way you can kind of see as I'm doing everything here. Open up this here. So like I said, so first what we're going to do is kind of spread out this portion here because there are these little bottom parts that kind of hit the bottom of the screen. So if you see here, there's these little nubs here that are actually hitting on the screen. And then this top parts here are actually what's holding it onto the monitor. And then if I slide it around, let's see if you can see this, then we have our kickstand part right here. And as I lean it back, well, let me get up and do this. Then I have my little foot there. And as you can see, it's propped up. And that's pretty much it, guys. And then, so if I kind of slide it around here for you, that's the look. So that's exactly what we get right here. So this is the triple screen setup here. Now, as far as getting everything installed, it's very simple. So I'm literally just going to plug in one of the USB-C ports there and plug it into the one right here, which you can kind of have it facing back so that way it's not in the way. And then I'm going to do the same here on this side, and then kind of just stick it in there. Then you can kind of push the cables back and everything like that, get them out of the way, kind of turn my screens on, and voila, there it is. So the only thing that I would say is that as far as the quality of the screens, they are a matte finish. They're 1080, so that's good. But the only thing that I would say is that depending on what it is that you're actually using it for, it's not going to be exactly the same as your main screen, because obviously with my MacBook Pro here, the main screen is actually really nice. So with these, they're not going to be as good of quality, but that's not a knock on the screens, because let's say, for example, I'm on Amazon, but I just want to scoot that one over so that way it's out of the way. And now I have it on this screen. But let's say if I want to go ahead and, I don't know, let's say do Final Cut Pro on this main screen here, but while I'm also on, excuse me, let's say Epidemic Sound, and I'm looking for, you know, some music, then I can kind of scooch that over to the side here. So now I'm looking for music and all that, but I'm also doing my editing over here. So it's just a really cool way to just have super productivity. And one thing that I do want to point out though is that there is no speakers on these. So for you, if you were to like play something on this screen, it's going to play through your main speakers. So let's say, for example, if I go over here and I start playing this song over here, it's going to be on my actual MacBook Pro speakers instead of it being like kind of separate between the three screens, which is okay. Obviously, it'd be kind of a pain in the butt if you had, you know, this screen, and this screen all playing something at the same time. But another thing that I really like about this is even if I had it, like, let's say on YouTube, for example, and I don't know if it's going to do it justice or not here, but the quality of the screen is actually not that bad. I mean, it looks pretty dang good. So if I go in, like, well, we'll let it go through here and go to the movie or the show I'm watching here on Haggerty, and then I go into HD. I mean, it looks good. It's actually not bad at all, and there is no lag, so the latency between the speakers and the actual talking of the people, there is no Godzilla effect either, which I actually really appreciate. So once again, if you're watching something or whatever it is that you're doing on here, you're not going to have that issue where it's going to, you know, lips moving and the sounds playing but not syncing up. So that is something that I actually personally really like as well. So with all that being said, guys, this is it. I mean, I didn't want to kind of go too crazy with this video. I wanted to, you know, like I said, show you the setup, show you, you know, kind of the simplicity of it. But for the money, I think it's actually not that bad of a deal to be able to have something like this on your MacBook Pro or your laptop that you use or whatever you have. But it's pretty sick. I like it. It's pretty nice. I highly recommend it. It does come in different colors. I personally think the black looks pretty clean and sick. So you let me know down in the comments. But like I said, guys, not too shabby at all. And just to kind of give you a little bit of the info here, it does say that it can support from a 14 to 7 inch, or excuse me, a 14 to a 17 inch laptop. So you're covered there. It is full HD at 1080p. And then it also does say that it's at HDR 72% NTCS. So like I said, it's still going to give you some good quality look, but it's not going to be super bright like my main monitor, but that's not really the point of these. And then one thing else to point out is these don't tilt or anything like that. You can kind of, you know, kind of angle them to a certain degree that works for you, but you're not able to kind of tilt them and customize it that way. It's only gonna swivel, not swivel back and forth. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've used one of these before or this type of setup. How have you used it with your productivity as well? So hit that like button if you like this video. If you loved it, please subscribe, ring that notification bell for up-to-date content. So be safe, God bless. I'll see you on the next one.